So here's your grid, starting on pole position. The top time in qualifying, Nikki Naruhito Tomasi will be joined by a fellow rookie, Noah Stayholder, on the outside of the front row. Kees Moyes and Milano Shiphorse will be on row 2. Laurens van Vlaanderen and Jara Kiewicz row 3. Mick Klinkers and Tiger Holthausen round out row 4. And rounding out your top 10, it's another pair of rookies, Max van der Meer and Leon Herbols. Sven van Melk and Pelle van Echteld round out row 6. Jim Danen and Jesse Moonen, row 7. Julius Grabau and Mika Vonk, row 8. And Matthias Clever, Belgian by way of Brazil, rounds out your 17-strong grid. So, temperatures at the moment, 16 degrees Celsius. Humidity around about 72%. Partially cloudy, well, very cloudy up above here at Circuit Park Berghem, not too far from Eindhoven Airport. Wind is to the east, around about 26 kilometers per hour. So the drivers are going to hit a bit of a headwind at some points on the circuit, but it is going to be the 2x2 rolling start formation as customary. Apart from KZ2 and KZ2 Masters, they will be standing start only because they are 6-speed shifter carts with a lot of torque going through the back axle. And if you try a rolling start with that, prepare for some madness, that's all I'm saying. But it's one of the most difficult disciplines in modern day karting, of course. And looking for a 5th successive world title, Max Verstappen won the KZ category back at Paul Fletcher International in 2013. And look where that young man is now. Right, here we go. It's time to get season 2025 for Chrono Karting. The Dutch Championship underway here at Circuit Park Berghem. So they come out through the final corner. It's time to get the revs up, lights on. And I didn't see the lights go out, so we are going to go around again. Yes, full start called. Oh, it's good to be back in a karting paddock again, even though I haven't really managed to catch up with anybody today, but I'm sure I will do after today's festivities behind the microphone once again. But if we go another full start, that timer is going to start ticking. And, well, we've had it before in Chrono Karting. I think it's quite a very intuitive way of just... It puts the pressure on the drivers a little bit more, let's be completely honest. So, if you are watching on the Chrono Karting YouTube channel, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe whilst you're at it. So, let's see if we can get things right. Second time of asking here for Mini and Mini Rookie. And if you are watching, please give us an indication of who you're supporting this weekend and tell us what class they're in, and we'll give you a shout out on the live stream. So the results of each pre-final, after all penalties and all items of business have been confirmed, then that sets the grid for each of the finals. Right, second time of asking, revs up, lights on. And we're underway for 2025. Good start by Nikki Naruhito Tomasi as they dive through into the opening chicane. Tomasi leads the way as we go into the first sweeping right. They ended up going through the chicane just a moment ago. All bit of a clash towards the back end of the field, but Nikki Naruhito Tomasi leads the field down the back straight away. Laurens van Vlaanderen now up into P. Oh, spinner at the back. I think that might have been the 110. Yes, Simoonen, but Laurens van Vlaanderen in the 170. Chasing down Nikki Naruhito Tomasi as they make their way through in towards the far part of the circuit. Really technical and twisty. Towards the far part of it. I might remember what the weather conditions did towards the end of the day last year. Well, Nikki Naruhito Tomasi is being hounded, quite literally, coming across the line to complete the opening lap, covering Laurens van Vlaanderen by just 71 thousandths. Van Vlaanderen with the fastest lap of the race. Kvyat Bosch now looking to dive up the inside at the next corner. Oh, clash between the pair coming through into the right-hander. And, well, we've got a couple of drivers really trying to put their best foot forward. One of which might be Milano Shiphorse there in the 114. Still holding on to 4th place. Tycho Holthausen in the 129 on the Maranello chassis has made up 3 places so far. Gage Moyes, unfortunately, has dropped from 3rd and now runs 6th on the Burel ART. Mick Klinker is 7th. Leon Herbo's up 2 spots from 10th on the grid. Noah Stayhalder has plummeted all the way down to 10th. As we come around the final corner to complete lap number 2. Naruhito Tomasi still leads. Oh, it's a 3-cart bumper-to-bumper train at the front end of the field. And now the scramble begins. And now there's going to possibly be a change for second. Bit of an elbows-out situation there. And it's 3 wide. 3 wide. Laurens van Vlaanderen to the outside, to the inside. Kvyat Bosch and Gage Moyes profits through everybody. Oh, but a shove on Milano Shiphorse sends the 114 wide. Van Vlaanderen also has run wide as a direct correlation. So it was only a matter of time before the good old elbows were out and sharpened. And let's slip the dogs of war. That's exactly what's just happened in this opening race of the 2025 season. Of course, a lot of the chrono karting drivers did take part in the opening round of the Benefit League. The Benefit League concludes in round about 4 weeks' time at the home of Champions Karting Genk. And still, oh, mistake there from Holt, I think. It was Mick Klinker's one who just made a little bit of a mistake there. Now Stayhalder up now, I think. Is that the 104? Not too sure, but the big thing is these Minimax drivers, Minimax and Minimax rookies. Well, Naruhito Tomasi is a rookie and has just moved up to the class this year. So we will see how things proceed over the next 6 minutes and 40 seconds, plus an additional 2 laps. So Naruhito Tomasi on the CRG, just controlling proceedings. Kvyat Bosch 2nd. Moyes now 3rd. Stayhalder 4th. Klinker's 5th. Holthausen, Vandermeer, Herbos, Pelle van Echtel doing a really good job. So is Jim Darnham. Both have moved up 3 spots apiece, so run 9th and 10th respectively. Nico Vonk started 16th now, currently runs up in P13. Jesse Moonen bringing up the rear of the field. Noah Stayhalder fastest up of the race so far, 49.122 on lap 4. And was the only driver, apart from Jesse Moonen, that was running in the 49s. Everyone else 50 or 51s. Now it's a 4-horse race at the front end of the field. Naruhito Tomasi versus Kvyat Bosch, Moyes and Stayhalder. So go through the very, very fast opening chicane. Moyes now up, staying in 3rd. Kvyat Bosch on the Energy Corsa chassis trying to get through. But at the moment that is not quite the case. However, there is still a bit of time, just over half of the race to go. Oh, a little bit of a slight rub between Moyes and Stayhalder as they battle for P3, and that's allowed now. Oh, Kvyat Bosch dives for the inside move, in for the lead, and gets it. That was last minute. Lick the stamp and send it by the 103. Yada Kvyat Bosch gets through and now takes the lead from Nicky Naruhito Tomasi as we hit the halfway point. 6 laps in the books, and now Stayhalder dives into turn 1 past Gage Moyes and gets the position. Matthias Clever battling away with the likes of, I think it is Milano Shiphorse and Julius Grabau, the latter being from Germany. And now it's all kicking off. Oh, bit of a squeeze. Stayhalder being pressurised to the right-hand side of the circuit by Nicky Naruhito Tomasi. And that is bringing back in the 2 behind, one of which I would imagine is going to be Gage Moyes, the Burlot in 4th place. And then Mick Klinkers. Oh, and someone has gone and cut the grass. Well, Pelle van Echtel in the 142. That's an unfortunate shortcut. But the race directors will not look favourably on that one, I'm afraid. some of the drivers absolutely going hammer and tongs into turn one. Now change for lead again. And this is really, well, Naruhito Tomasi just steamrolled up the inside. And on that note, Kiewicz Bosch now goes all the way down to fourth. Gagemo is trying to get through on Noah Steyhalder in the 1-1-2. Who's now going to dive to the inside. Oh, sneaky, sneaky. But Naruhito Tomasi said, no, you don't. You've got to do better than that. These laps are quickly whittling away, as so is the timer. Nicky Naruhito Tomasi leading by just under 0.3 of a second after 8 laps. But, all right, change for fourth. That will be Mick Klinkers going through. Steyhalder and Naruhito Tomasi. Oh, they have a clash going into the next right-hander. And Kiewicz Bosch gets back through on Klinkers. Klinkers quickly on the counter-offensive. And now Gage Moyes, rookie last year, now is going to put significant pressure on Nicky Naruhito Tomasi. Right, penalties just come through for Julius Carvalho. Noah Steyhalder is forcing the issue, decides not to chance it going into turn one because that will be at about 95 kilometres an hour. And now we'll go into, oh, nearly went for it there. Julius Carvalho, 3-second time penalty from race control for unsportsmanlike conduct with regards to driving standards. But what an explosive race to start the Chrono Karting 2025 season. And Steyhalder now starting to have to defend against Gage Moyes, and Moyes is thinking, well, if I can get myself in the top 3 by the end of this race, and when we cross the line, I might be pretty happy with that. But no racing driver will actually admit that they are happy. They will admit that they are a bit annoyed, a bit disappointed that they won't hit the front end of the field. Now diving into the right-hand hairpin just after the very fast right, left, right chicane. Well, Tomasi goes defensive. Good move there by the 125. And holds on to that race lead. But Kiewicz Bosch is closing in rather quickly. So it may not be if, it's a case of when something transpires. So just for you newbies watching the stream, we will only be broadcasting all the races. Oh, nearly a bit of a stumble there for Kiewicz Bosch going over the inside curbing on the final corner, using the right front wheel, nearly unsettled the car and probably could have pitched it quite badly into a spin. Max van der Meer had to give a shout out. Started 9th on the grid, now P6. And closing in to the top 5. Top 6 were covered by just under 1.2 seconds. After 11 laps, so we could be on the cusp. Maybe we have this and 2 more. Right, I've spotted a couple of spots on the window of the commentary box, as I can see actually the start-finish straight. Oh, drama at the far part of the circuit. 103, 104. Kiewicz Bosch and Mick Klinkers. So slippery surface flag. The rain is coming. 3-second time penalty for Jesse Moonen for unsportsmanlike driving. So slippery surface flag. The rain is starting to fall here at Circuit Park Berghem. And these drivers will be very happy that the checkered flag will be coming out next time after this lap. But Noah Steyhalder with this and 1 more to go leads the way. And, oh, well, no, stumble from Steyhalder. Nicky Naruhito Tomasi gets through for the race lead. So, those drivers looking to put slick tyres on, all stumble there. The back end all over the shop for Nicky Naruhito Tomasi as Gage Moyes now spins. Tries to go up the inside of Noah Steyhalder and loses not just 1 but 2 places. You can see that the rain is starting to come down now, so the track is losing its purchase. Oh no, Estejado backwards into the barriers of the final corner. And, well, that kart is beached, I'm afraid. Final lap underway. And, well, yeah, I can understand the frustration, but with the wet weather conditions, you've got to be very, very careful, especially when it's the last couple of laps. Oh, another clash going through. That's at turn 4. I have no words. I seriously have no words on what has happened, but can I be surprised? Not really. But to finish first you must finish. And Nikki Naruhito Tomase has weathered the slight microstorm that we've had here. In other words, the rainfall that is literally within the last 2 to 4 minutes has just landed at the circuit. So the checkered flag is being prepared by our Flag Marshal Marine on the start-finish straight. Nikki Naruhito Tomase wins the first pre-final of the season. Second, Max van der Meer, 9th to 2nd. Oh, more dramas coming out of the final corner. And backwards over the line goes Mick Klinkers in the... Oh, that's a start. I'm going to have to admit this. Mick Klinkers, you've got style points for that one. Right. On that note, let's take you through the provisional results of the pre-final for Mini and Mini Max rookie. Nikki Naruhito Tomase wins by nearly 2.5 seconds after 14 laps, with the rain coming in to spice up the party, let's say. Max van der Meer started 9th, finishes in 2nd. Tycho Holzhausen starts 8th, finishes 3rd. Milano Shiphorster finished exactly where Milano actually qualified, P4. Jim Darnan up from 13th to take 5th ahead of Yesimunen. Mick Klinkers, Lena Herbos, Gage Moyes, Pelle van Echtelt, Matthias Clever up 7 places with Jarkiewicz Bosch, Trent van Menek, Noah Stehado and Julius Cabo rounding out the 15 that finished. Mika Vonk out on lap 12 and Lawrence van Vlaanderen out on lap number 11. Next up, it's the pre-final for Junior Max and Junior Max Rookie.